capitalism? Because it sucks.
Scheiße.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Finally.
I meant to start it.
Welcome to episode 7 of Perspective Check.
7.
Just a game of D&D we've been playing for a while, and you guys done?
I just said shut up, you.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, hope you guys like it. If you guys end up sticking around and watching it, liking it, give us a follow. We have Twitter, Facebook, Roll Perspective on social media sites. Yeah.
It's the night I get us all.
Oh, yeah. I forgot my dice.
I have a what the fuck? Shit, no one has any extra dice.
I left them on my hot water tank.
I was about to grab all my dice.
Yeah, you could, as I had it here, but
I can't afford
Hey, if you let him use your dice, he might bless those dice, and then your rolls will stop sucking.
Or we keep BK because our only good
no,
his would have shit rolls. His dice, they're just open.
Sandal sees all my dice. He knows I either roll really high or really low.
It's 3s or 17s.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's easy.
Well, when you have
17.
plus 15 to attack, he doesn't have to
everything.
18s.
Yep.
So
you guys be friendlier just a little bit.
I'm friendly.
We already spilled liquid all over each other.
Him. I had no part in that.
It's you.
Yeah, but it was the way you were looking at that shirt that helped.
Alright, almost done adjusting cameras.
No, not done. Didn't catch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
so many
6, 7, 8,
good
9, 10,
potential
11. I'm missing
spells.
Oh, wow. I didn't get this
tough,
close.
You can use these African American.
Wow, alright. Jesus, dude. So,
Wow.
guys.
Oh, that just comes natural.
Comes with the territory.
If you guys are ready, on the last exciting episode of Dungeons and Dragon Ball Z, Nocturnum found themselves in an ancient prison of the Frozen Emperor. Powerful spellcaster from a bygone time. They confronted the Emperor, who mistook them for someone else. He seemed to be confused as to who they were, thought they were some enemy from his past. They confronted him, battled, and with a guiding bolt from Lily, they destroyed the skeletal corpse that tied his spirit to this place, and defeated him. But he didn't seem to care. He laughed as his shadowy form faded. He said that he would see them when winter came.
Pussy.
Defeating the remaining wraiths that still harried them, they continued onward, further into the ruin, in search of Junla, a girl who they've been traveling with, taking her to 3 different locations at the behest of a vision from an Alciad, a centaur-like creature. Going further into the ruin, they found an animated skeletal worm or drake of some kind. They did battle with it. The creature seemed to have star-like lungs and heart, similar to the form that Junla had shown in previous battles before this. Albert banished the creature after it had breathed fire on the group and nearly put them in a very bad situation. Retreating back further up into the ruins, they quickly tried to discuss and figure out a plan of what to do. But they heard below that the drake was throwing itself against the walls of the ruin, attempting to tear itself out of this place. The ruin began to collapse around them. They charged back down in the hopes to save the drake and managed to make it remember that it is in fact Junla. With a few attempted persuasions and one very fortunate natural 20 from Zarn, had it not been, that would not have worked.
Yes.
They managed to slow the creature's pace, and it paused and seemed to remember. and in a burst of starlight, appeared Junla appeared in her full form, full muscular wings, a drake, not a dragon. In that moment of awe, looking upon her, the ruin began to collapse fully in upon them, and they heard her say out to them in their minds, "Get together." She flew across the room, grabbed Korak, and brought him back into contact with the group, and with a flash of light, you all felt yourself lifted up off your feet, and that was where we left off. So, this is the table.
That's the mouse that Cody keeps in the apartment.
Yeah, I like to step on it now and again.
Guys, I found my missing detail.
There you go.
In case anyone was concerned.
The audience couldn't stop talking about it on this whole week.
That sigh of relief took over the internet.
They were very excited about it.
So,
Hashtag we know. Or no.
your feet touch the ground, your eyes still blinded by the flash of light. After a moment, you hear the sound of tall rustling grass and leaves blowing over your heads. It's a warm, light breeze. A nice change from the fall weather you guys have started to become adjusted to in the past several months. A moment later, your eyes adjust. The blinding light fades. You look around and see yourself in a small valley between hills, and stand in the shadow of a canopy of trees. Although you stand beneath the trees, the ground around you is lit in a golden light, like the light that comes with a sunrise. You look around, you see all of you standing together, along with Kalen, in the star-like drake form of Junla.
She's not even humanoid?
She stands there for a moment looking at all of you. Slumps to the ground with a thud. It's panting heavily. Thank you. I'm sorry. She just seems to just be trying to catch her breath.
I rest my hand on her form. Junla, are you alright? Are we safe here?
You place your hand on her side and you feel her form looks translucent, but placing your hand you feel hard scales and very thick muscular form.
Is it like a constellation, like connections, like you know what I mean? Like
yeah, when you kind of look at it, like the points, like taking a moment up close next to it, you can see like where the stars are. It's where there are points in the scales. And it seems as if the lights kind of drift between. I think we'll be safe here. Let me catch my breath. Feel free to look around.
What is around us?
So from what you can see right now, you're kind of in between small dip in between some hills, and there's two trees that are kind of giving you guys some shade.
I climb off the top one of the hills and look around.
Yeah.
So I'll go with him.
When you get out from underneath the shade of the trees, you see the skies above you are pale crystal blue, dotted with puffs of white clouds. You don't see the sun, but it's as if it's midday. Cresting the top of the hill, you look down before you. You see rolling hills that slowly descend towards a beach of pure white sands. Your eyes seem to trick you. At first glance, the hills seem to only go a few miles. A moment later, They're all you can see, stretching out to the horizon. The sands on the beach border against an endless sea of silver glass, the waves washing gently against the shore and stretching out ahead of you to meet the horizon. You turn to look around behind you. You see a mountain that consumes your entire vision. Light snow coats the vast mountain above you, seeming to go on for miles and miles. You see no peak, and instead a soft glowing white light that hurts to look at it for more than a moment. And you turn back, you kind of look around, and you hear a soft hum coming from Junla. It seems to reverberate through the ground around you. And you look at her and you see she's just kind of looking up at you and Fenrir. You see that she's lifted her head and her lips have curled back into a smile of razor-sharp, deadly fangs. Welcome, my friends, to Mercuria, the second layer of Mount Celestia. You find yourselves in the home of the Platinum Protector. She rests her head back down, still seeming to try to catch her breath.
Mercuria.
Yep. You see Kalen. She isn't really looking around at she's not taking in the landscape. She's just more staring at Junla kind of curiously, and you see that she is just kind of walking over and uses a druid craft to kind of damp a rag and kind of pats it around, along the top of her head.
Well, Junla, I'm sure that we all have a lot of questions, but please rest, and we will do the same. And let us all just take in this. This is beautiful here.
I'll try to answer your questions as best I can. There's a lot swimming through my head right now. You see that she just kind of adjusts, and where she was sitting before, she seemed to almost just collapse on the spot, and now she's kind of pulling herself up and sitting up a little more upright, and she kind of balances herself on the foot and the fold in the wings where the claws are.
Do I have any idea what she is?
No. You know that it is... Roll me a nature check.
Shit, I got my dice out. Not prepared today. Can I have a D20 here?
Yeah.
You get the critical roll one. I got 10. 10, what am I, nature?
Yeah.
Yeah, plus 2 nature, so. Cool.
It's hard to believe, but
I need that one back.
this looks like a dragon. It's a little different than the dragons you've seen before. And reaching into your pack, you pull out the small wind-up toy that you had originally bought for your sister. And looking at it, a dragon in this toy has 4 legs and wings coming out of its back. And with her form, or Junla's form, it appears more that she has 2 legs that rest more towards, like hind legs almost, with a long curling tail, maybe about 15 feet, and from the base of her tail to her neck probably reaches about another 20 feet. Up to her snout, she has a long neck, and no front legs, just the wings that seem to fold in the center with the claws at the joints.
This is strange to ask because I know they haven't been seen in thousands of years, but are you a dragon?
No, I'm not a dragon. No, I'm a drake. You have the lesser cousins. of dragons. Dragons are born from the... All dragons can trace their descendants back to either the Platinum God or the Five-Headed Destructor. Drakes are more from the natural world. When dragons stray too far from their gods, we are the offspring of that.
The realms of the Platinum Protector. Is that the so-called Platinum God that you just spoke of?
Yes, we're in the realm of Bahamut.
Do we know the story, the legend of that? Like, is that something that's commonly known?
Yeah.
Alright. So the dragon that betrayed the gods?
She looks perplexed.
That's just the legend, after all.
I've known the lights of Bahamut for hundreds of years, back before I underwent my transformation. But I don't believe it. I know that's what they say happened, but there's a force of benevolence and peace. That's part of the reason that I brought us here, because it was the only safe place that I could bring us to. I couldn't take us to anywhere on the material plane. I had to take us to a different plane of existence. So, I brought us here. I figured we'd be safe. I'm also curious to speak with his stewards, find out what's happened.
Well, it's been... What is it, like 2,000 years?
It's been over 1,000 years.
It's been over 1,000 years since the Great War.
I've never heard of a creature. I'm sorry, but a drake, as you call yourself, or any other manner of creature, other than a spellcaster of elven or a few others, being able to just transfer planes.
Yes, it was part of this cursed transformation. You see that she just kind of looks about herself.
What?
I didn't always look like this. I once had blue scales, could breathe ice. I was a drake of frost. And I pledged myself to Bahamut. Was to undergo a transformation to become this. It was only supposed to last about 100 years. In that transformation, I would learn to see what others could not in the stars and in the sun. I'd learn to speak the very language of the cosmos. Be inducted into the Platinum Flight. Something went wrong. I don't know what yet. Given some time, I might be able to figure out exactly what happened and why I came back as a human. But I don't know right now.
So you essentially... Something went wrong and you died and were reincarnated as a child? Thousands of years later?
Oh, Gorilla Valley.
There was... This transformation was pioneered by other drakes during the Age of Creation. And it took them about the course of 1,000 years. So it appears that whatever went wrong forced me to undergo the transformation the long way, as opposed to the short way.
I mean, if you're from the Age of Creation, the knowledge that you must have.
Well, I know some things. Even back then. It's glorious. The material plane is missing something now. In all the years that I lived there, there's no fear of dragons, no wonder in their spectacle and seeing them fly over, either coming to bring gifts or destruction. And with that, we were feared. For good reason. So I know some things, but I'm no scholar.
Do you know what those junctions that we took you to actually are?
I don't know what happened to the others, but I remember that those were 3 of the 8 holy shrines to Bahamut. He had a thing for the number 8. These were... Before my transformation, I had to make a pilgrimage to each of the 8. Appears that whatever holiness was bestowed on those hallowed grounds still stand through the test of time.
Well, I mean, they may have been holy grounds, but every time we went to one, something horrible happened.
I don't know. It could be perversion of time on the Dwemmers. It could be the amount of magic that crossed over them, changing the holy power that gave them strength. I don't know.
And the only other thing I can think to ask is, do you know why you were turned into the form that you were before we freed you? Some sort of skeletal drake creature?
Some darkness that was in that place. Something that twisted me. When I touched the tree, I could feel the light. Started to remember, and then see almost like a look of fear. There was a voice calling to me, reversing the message. Light, twisting its darkness. I don't know.
There was a creature down there that I think was of great evil. I mean, obviously was of great evil. Before we got to you, we fought him. Something, he called himself the Frozen Usurper of Death, I think it was?
Yes. He had a multitude of names.
Yes, always. He was some sort of creature that had been trapped in there for hundreds of years. And something about these junctions that we went to, I think, freed him. We fought him, but he disappeared, not seeming to care that we defeated him.
I believe that it was only that junction
It was just
that freed him. I believe that it was a circumstantial
he seemed
situation.
He seemed like a creature of undeath, and the other two junctions we went to seemed to have that sort of magic associated with them.
If I might, I believe that he has nothing to do with. If this is all, your memories are all true, and what you speak of is all your reality. Whatever happened to you in your past or current life, it is still your current life. I think, I hope.
I don't think I ever passed to the beyond. I remember bits and pieces, staring into the astral sea, pondering existence. I don't think I ever passed, and this usurper of death rings no bells. I don't remember ever hearing anything of him. Perhaps, as Sindal said, perhaps it's just the magic of the place that drew to that location.
Well, as the group's most experienced with magic of undeath, I would be inclined to agree. It doesn't seem to me that that was anything related to the other juncture that we had visited. It seems more like it was just that one.
You hear a deep chuckle.
If this is true, if there was a war between this platinum protector Bahamut truly, if you were there, and
No. When I underwent my transformation, there was no war. There were tides of rumors of potentially preparing to strike against Tiamat, but there was no war beyond scuffles and wars of men. There was no war amongst dragons.
if your transformation then took place before, I fear for where we are. I fear for potentially what we might face here. If this war truly took place,
See that she slowly picked herself up more to a full height. She motions with her neck. Walk with me. We'll go find the Platinum Citadel. This is Bahamut's great fortress where it keeps his hoard. If Bahamut's truly gone, which I don't believe it, the stewards will keep the faith, watch over the Citadel to the ends of time. She starts walking up the hill, walking along.
can I entertain the possibility that Bahamut lost the war, or whatever war that might have been?
That's what the stories say, is that he lost and that he's dead, I believe.
If this is what if the Citadel was taken where we're going by some other?
The Citadel is impenetrable. It stood against the legions, the chained god and Grumsh combined. Never breached the outer wall. Stewards know how to protect it. We'll be fine. She's just walking ahead.
Just realized, I mean, we've been asking questions, but so we're currently in the realm of
We're in the realm of a god that lost.
I just start following her.
Roll a religion check.
Is there a pencil there?
You said this is the second what of what? Sorry.
Second layer of Mount Celestia.
You see your religion?
Yes.
26.
26. So, you know of Mount Celestia. It is one of the planes that is on the positive edge of the scheme of the cosmos. It's a place of peace and law. It's where many paladins come to find their rest. You know of at least a few different gods that make their homes here. You know of the Red Maiden, goddess of the goddess of the dwarves, and you know that Duldorn, the god of the sovereign host, whose tenets are war, honor, and justice, makes his home closer towards in one of the upper layers of this realm. You also remember a tale that goes along with the Calling War. You remember Bahamut betrayed Corwan and Moradin to their ultimate deaths in a pivotal moment with Tiamat. Tiamat went to the material plane to bring about the destruction of men and elves and dwarves. Bahamut returned back to Mount Mercuria to sit upon his endless hoard. Doldorn, in the rise of the sovereign host, came here with his army, alone, without the others, stormed the fortress, killed Bahamut. That is doctrine of the Church of the Sovereign. You guys continue walking for about 10 minutes. So Junla is visibly weary, panting heavily. Breaths are labored.
If you're tired, we can take a moment to rest. We've all been through quite a ruckus ordeal today.
I myself am quite exhausted.
We'll find rest inside the gates. Many questions. Ahead of you, you see white clouds gathering, seeming to do their best to obscure the endless mountain ahead of you, but failing pitifully. You hear Junla laugh. You'll be welcome guests at the Citadel. Stewards will make a great feast. One of the drakes from the stars to return. There's crest a hilltop. You look out at the rolling fields ahead of you. See, it's not clouds that we're gathering ahead. It's smoke. Out across the field, about 10 miles ahead of you, you see an incredible fortress made of white marble. Once, there would have stood high towers, tall and proud above the walls. Now you see rubble, broken walls, ashy white smoke rising from the ruin. Lily, having your goggles on, look ahead and you can see hung over the ruins banners, gold with a red shield, a silver sword across the front.
I don't tell anyone about it.
I wasn't writing until
Classic.
I wasn't writing until you said so.
I completely forgot what they look like. No, I can.
You can still see them.
You recognize that as the holy symbol of Doldorn.
Is it supposed to look like this?
This is incredible. I've only. This is only tale. This is only things people.
Your voice is drowned out by an overwhelmingly loud roar from Junla. One of anger, pain, sorrow. See that she just collapses to the ground. Just looking out ahead of the ruin. The ruin stretches across for miles. It's far larger than any city any of you have ever seen. Lily, make a perception check.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I don't level up yet. I think it's 25.
Looking out, again, you see, you're looking at the ruin. You just kind of look up in the direction of the mountain where the smoke is. You can see, pick it out just for a moment between the clouds and the smoke. A set of glowing golden wings attached to a blue humanoid-like body flying through the smoke. And it passes.
I would tell the group that.
Is it coming this way?
No.
It appeared to be flying left to right, just through the smoke.
If the Citadel is... I don't want to go any closer. We may not be welcome guests on this plane.
Yeah, what could have caused this?
This is unbelievable.
This is the story, isn't it? So that Bahamut betrayed the gods and was defeated.
A story?
I mean, it is history of the sovereign host.
Yes, but the Dull Dawn came to claim
You know
the Citadel.
that the event of Dildorn coming here by himself was called the Platinum Purge.
That's fucked up.
Stories are one thing, Zantor. We're here on this plane. This can't.
I mean, I'm as wild as you are about it, but I mean, this is what the stories, what the church teaches. The churches teach.
Are we able to leave if we need to, Junla?
I'll need to rest. You can see on the ground around here tears that have kind of rolled out of her eyes and have hit the ground. They seem to turn into those puffs of stardust, just join into the cloud that is circling around her. I'll need to rest. I haven't regained my full strength yet. I don't even know what I'm capable of. Why I'm supposed to be here. She turns and walks back down the hillside away from out of sight of the fortress.
We need to rest.
She doesn't go very far. She just gets it out of eyesight.
I can't imagine. I can't. Can you ask an audience with a god on his plane? Or are you?
If I can't get you off the plane, we can go either down and seek an audience with Tyr, blind but all-seeing, or we can go towards the top, up to Jovar, to the glittering heaven, and see if we can find passage inside the heavenly city. No planes, portals there. That can take you where you need to go.
This is a lot to take in all at once.
You're telling me, eh?
Sorry, I thought this would be a merrier welcome.
This was an excellent idea for safety, but I couldn't have imagined that every story was completely true.
I mean, the results are true, but oftentimes history is written by the winner. Perhaps they didn't happen exactly as they were told.
Well, if Dildon is truly the god of the Southern Host,
what do we know what he's the god of?
Well, I mean, he kind of knew that, but I mean, and if you ask that, it would. He's the god of war and honor, and righteous justice.
So he's a lawful good god.
No, he's a chaotic good god.
Chaotic good.
He is more. People that follow him are not the stereotype of people more like Korak, or people that seek battle, and people that seek to banish darkness by the tip of a sword.
Actively rather than through diplomatic.
Rather than bringing light, he seeks to destroy darkness, essentially.
Active extermination of heathens.
Alright. Interesting. Well, we don't need time to think a rest is in order. We have time to think about this.
We haven't done much.
As I'm like bleeding out of every part of my body, like coughing up blood.
We're kind of booked.
So, you guys stood about to take rest. You guys taking watch?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't. I'll go first.
I will take a first watch.
First? Second? Who's third? and fourth?
Together, or?
Certainly. Why not?
Okay, so you need to take. You can only take one rest
Right.
or one watch. You can take two because of your
Right.
restful sleeping thing from elves.
Yeah.
So you'll both be on first watch. You'll be on second watch. Who's on third and fourth?
I'll take four. I need
Fourth?
to get my sleep.
Take third.
Alright.
Okay.
For first watch, I'm gonna use my. Just because. I'm gonna cast fly on both of us.
That's exciting for me.
And so, Korak, you feel light, and you're able to. You sit there and you think about it, and you think up, and you lift up off the ground, a few inches, a few feet.
That's incredible.
Try not.
How long can I do this?
Try not to fly too high. It only lasts for an hour. Also,
This is fantastic.
enjoy the beautiful scenery because that is the reason I wanted to cast it on myself during this watch.
So are we watching over the group, or are we flying wherever we
Oh.
like to go?
We are on watch,
This is-
Korak. Oh, okay.
Perception checks.
Natty 20.
Oh shit. Yeah. 12.
So, you guys fly around a little bit. Korak's very excited about it. Takes up into the air, lands, takes back up into the air, lands again.
He just
Yeah, he's
pretend Hulk jumps.
he's doing that like Superman trying to figure out how to fly, where he just runs and jumps. He jumps a little bit higher. Taking your watch, looking out into the fields. Sindal, you notice coming from the direction of the fortress, you see a group of small shapes working their way across the fields in front of you, slowly working towards you.
Directly towards.
In the general direction.
Is there a roadway at all? Or is it just open field?
This is open, endless grass fields.
Korak, I'm not sure. I hope they don't totally spot us.
I mean,
It is sunny out still and everything. We're just kind of.
So it's kind of weird looking out into this field and being in the realm around you. There is no sun, but everything is lit in a, like I said before, like a golden light, like the kind of light that you see on a sunrise. Like if you're on the ocean watching it, and there's just this bright orange and gold light that filters in all around you. I need both of you to make stealth checks.
shit.
That's rats. Twelve.
Okay. A few moments pass, a few minutes. Seems like they're heading right in your direction.
Well,
So,
Korak,
Yeah.
I believe we're on the outskirts of a city, and I believe we are spotted. I believe we have a. Do they look armed and like?
And how many?
there's four that you can see. And looking at them, they appear to be humanoid in form,
Okay.
not overly tall. There's one amongst them that's a little bit taller, a little bit more rotund. They don't appear to be bearing weapons. They come walking wearing what looks like loose-fitting clothes, something similar to what you wear when you're not wearing the patchy robe.
Okay.
But just walking your direction. What do you guys do?
How long's it been?
About 45 minutes.
Shit.
We could approach them, or we probably should go back and
I believe we should wake.
alert the group.
We need to wake everybody.
That would be the wise decision.
We need to wake everybody, rouse everybody, and we need to have a conversation with. I hope they speak any language that we know.
I was thinking we could handle it, but that's a good point. I mean, perhaps waging war upon entering this realm is not the best idea.
Please do not fight extra
I
planar.
just said it's not the best
Entities.
idea. Let's check your ears, Elf. Let's go and get everyone off.
So you both pick up and fly back in the direction of the group. And you didn't get very far away from them, but you stir everyone. Junla kind of picks your head up very warily. Colleen seems to just be doing everything she can to kind of attend to her.
Wake up, listen! We spotted what we believe to be a sentry, yes?
I hope, or maybe more of an emissary. Or
Perhaps. It would seem to me less likely, however it may be. Rise, we must meet these.
I don't think I should meet anyone on this plane.
That doesn't seem like a bad thought.
As if they wiped all the dragons out, they're probably not going to be happy seeing one.
Indeed.
You should go and meet them. See if you can send them away. If you can, come back and we'll rest.
yes, we will move towards them.
I'll stay here and try to stay hidden. She just kind of puts her head back down. She seems exhausted to the point that it's difficult for her to move. Colleen, I'll stay here with her. Tend to her wounds and do my best to help her.
Right, so should we advance their way and leave these two here?
Yes, I believe we should.
So the six of you walk in the direction that the beings were coming from. When you were looking from them before, they were a ways off still. And coming up over the hill, they're at the bottom of the hill. It seems as if traveling in this plane, depth of perception is hard to get a wage on. And they are very, very close to where you all stand now.
Can I retroactively cast invisibility on Junla? I was trying to find it to see if I could do it on another creature, but my page turning skill was slow.
God, shitty roll. Oh, like a. Okay.
Does it have to be a humanoid, or is it
That's what I'm checking.
It just says a creature.
a creature? Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to do it adorably, like
Oh, jeez.
give her a hug and then cast invisibility.
You walk up and hug. You attempt to hug around her neck, and your arms don't even get like a quarter of the way around it. You hug her.
What you do, Lily?
They'll never find her now.
Where is she?
She's still right there. I just turned her invisible.
Still
I know
So, back to where we were. You guys crest over the top of the hill. And you see the beings in front of you, and looking at them, they are pristine, almost like cut features. Not looking different amongst them. The three smaller ones appear to be gods. They look like just perfectly like cut square jaws, like well-formed cheekbones. But they
Jeremy McGovern.
look identical to Jeremy McGovern.
Do they have
And no,
like a little scruff? Is it like a little bit?
no scruff,
Okay.
but a perfectly formed butt chin.
Okay.
Old dimple chin himself.
But they all look identical. There is no distinction between them. And then there's the other one, who's probably stands about maybe half a foot taller than them, and a little bit more rotund, but still well built, well cut.
Sorry, how tall were they?
Yeah, now that we're closer, how tall would you
The
say?
three were about 6.5 feet tall. The other one's about 7 feet tall.
Great.
Greetings, travelers.
Hail. And just bow and just head to the ground.
The taller one steps forward. Mortals from the material plane. It's been some time since we've seen your kind here. What brings you?
And they're speaking common, I assume?
Yeah.
Well, it's great to meet you. We've never met your kind before.
Yes, we bear no names. We are merely archons to Doldorn.
Well, it's hard to explain how we came across this place.
We were in a bit of a pickle back on the plane, and kind of got thrown here.
Interesting. That perhaps was a tear in the veil that would allow you, unless one of you is a strong enough spellcaster, like yourself, to move across planes. That matters not. We don't mean to interrogate. We simply heard a disturbance in the fields and came to investigate.
Right, so we mean no harm to this place, really. We're just trying to rest. Several
Rest?
people I heard.
Passing through, as it were.
If you desire rest, you can find it inside the citadel.
Really?
That's where we came from. Yes.
What is this?
It is the ruin of the Platinum Betrayer. We have been left here by Doldorn, under the guidance of Talia, to watch over the ruin and make sure that none of his followers ever return.
How long have you been here?
It's hard to count time. Time passes differently here than it does in the material plane.
It's even hard there.
It's been at least 1,000 years since material plane.
That sounds about right by the timeline we know.
Yes, the tales we know show that time being exactly correct, in fact. Are we welcome guests in the Platinum Ruins?
Assuming you mean no ill will towards Doldorn,
We certainly mean no ill will.
but then Natalia will see to it that you are given proper lodging and rest. Come.
Talia is the commander here?
Natalia, yes. She is the arbiter of judgment. She will make sure that you find good rest here on this night. Come, follow us.
Might we stay here, out here? Is this an issue?
I don't mean to deny your graciousness, however, you may be able to tell I'm more acquainted with the wilds than the comfort of a citadel. Would it be alright if we were to stay?
It matters not. Natalia will take no offense to your not coming. However, are you strong enough to send you and your companions back to the plane? If not, you'll be stuck here for a very long time. Natalia can help you find a passage back.
I am not.
Plenty strong enough.
I mean, I'm pretty strong.
Make a deception check.
It's true. Fenrir is really strong.
It's a 4. It's a 4. God damn it.
You are indeed more acquainted with nature than magic, it appears.
I am not strong enough to take us back, but my companions do favor the wild more than a citadel for rest. At least for a first night's stay in a new...
That is fair. If you wish to rest, come to the Citadel. I would suggest coming unarmed. Natalia does not take well to visitors at the gate who are armed. Once you come, she will help you traverse to another layer, where we can find you passage back to your homes.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you for the offer.
Kind of bow their head. The 3 turn and start to walk. See the larger one start to turn and looks back. See its eyes kind of give like a flash of radiant light. You. What is it that you carry? Something that does not belong on this plane. I sense evil on you.
I have an item that I found long ago that is not of good nature. I don't use it. I'm simply holding on to it so nobody else can get it.
We can see to it that it is destroyed if that is what you wish. However, we cannot allow you to continue to roam this plane if you carry an item of evil. It is against the will of Doldorn.
So I would graciously offer it to you. However, I'm under the impression that I might be able to use it to defeat a greater evil. As strange as that sounds.
May I inspect it?
Absolutely. And I assume it's the flute. I pull out the flute and hand it to him.
Takes it. Looks at it. What is this greater evil that you speak of? This is a flute.
When we were fighting the thing that kind of threw us here, when we got thrown into this plane, some sort of evil creature of undeath. He spoke of some items that we had that would possibly be used to defeat him. I'm not sure if this is it or not, but I think it might be.
Roll persuasion check.
That's a 16, or that's a 17, I think. Sure. I don't have the freaking character sheet out. Persuasion, yeah, 17.
Turns and gives you more of a look.
I'm not lying.
And you can just see that as its eyes kind of look at you, you see the 3 that were kind of standing behind. You see their forms shimmer and glow. Shunk! You see plate armor appear across all of them. The great swords across their backs. And they all looked at the larger one, as if waiting for some command. If you come seeking the help of Italia, you will not be granted permission without the destruction of this item.
Fair enough.
Hands it back to you.
Thank you for at least believing me.
Shoot. You see the armor disappear on the other ones. They return back to their smiling faces. In the morning, then, they turn, start drifting back towards the Citadel.
I want to sidebar here with Sindal. Did I hear him mention anything about Grooch?
this plane?
That was. No, that wasn't here.
No, it was. Junla, you heard it as well. Junla was talking about it.
Yeah.
Junla said that
sure I heard it correctly.
She, in her impression that the Citadel was impregnable, she mentioned a tale of the chained god and Grumsh
Attacking
laying siege to the Citadel simultaneously
and lost.
and unable to even breach the outer defenses.
That's what it was.
Sindal, would you by chance know if there's going to be like a time difference when we go back to the material plane? They said time flows differently here. It kind of has me concerned about what it's going to be like when we finally go back.
I believe that we might.
No, I forgot something.
I believe that if they have a misconception about time passing, I would logically think that they might, or we might, age differently here.
Well, they did say that it's been about 1,000 years since the whole deal with the dragon gods. So perhaps time does line up.
Right. It seemed more to me that maybe they just care less about time. It's not as present in their mind as.
No, I think if I heard them correctly, they said it was 1,000 years on the material plane. Was that not correct? I thought I heard. Yeah. They didn't say it was 1,000 years in their plane.
So, but how long in their plane equals 1,000
They
years?
never really divulged.
Because I'm worried that we're gonna go back and we're gonna have lost like years or something of that nature. It might be winter for all we know.
We honestly have no way of getting back until we rest. So I don't know what we're going to do.
I know. I'm just saying it's something that I'm worried about as a 14-year-old.
All we can really do is rest and then go.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably something. We should
More than any concern about what possibly, if we make it back at all, or what time has passed on, this flute causes a great deal of trouble for us at this very moment here on this plane. I believe we almost all lost our lives over simply having it. Had a conversation.
If it would have sounded violence, I would have given the flute to them.
Yes, I understand that. And if that conversation had never been allowed to occur, well, what are we going to do with this flute? We need to destroy it.
If we needed to get back there, then I'll give it to them. It's all theirs. They can have it. They can do whatever they want with it.
Have you used this flute at all?
It would seem to
Once.
me.
Or twice.
And what happened?
Resurrect. It's similar to his spells that animate dead. Only it's harder to control it if you're not evil nature.
What about that other evil item that we're carrying?
That's kind of why.
Yes,
Dude,
that
seems a lot more. What are you talking about, Cora?
Oh, I'm aware.
I was gonna ask
you
them
have
about it
talked
until I heard.
More than abundantly.
We will not speak the name of that item on this plane.
Yeah.
In addition to the fact that we know it is in a place that is safe from prying eyes, whereas that flute was not, and they know we have it now.
Well,
I see what you
so
did there.
we're talking about.
eyes.
I don't think that we can go to that citadel. If we June Law, you heard them say that they're there to destroy any follower of the Platinum Dragon.
If we go there, will we be separated from her? But we could.
If we go in there, we're not. I don't see how they would all of a sudden also let us leave.
Did none of you? Did they not creep any of you out? I thought they were quite creepy.
They were very straightforward and very honest about their intentions.
Like
They have a strange. Just that strange.
They have that air about them, like else.
Many fears.
I take 50% offense to that.
Yeah, that was I believe.
50% of them.
Can I? Oh, I didn't get to test it. Celestial speech. Would I think that they might an Archon. Would I know anything about an Archon? And would I think that it speaks Celestial?
Make a religion check.
2 High Templars, Stewie. Merge them together.
Or 2 Dark Templars.
18. 18.
18? They look heavenly.
Correct. I believe that was an accent of celestial speech. More of a thing that they kind of...
You elves, always thinking you're so godly.
That's me in character laughing too.
I speak in celestial. Don't you understand?
And I draw my
You're speaking in Celestial?
Yeah, in celestial.
You hear what sounds like beautiful music.
Oh, beautiful music, okay.
It seems as if he is singing, and it comes across quite nice to the ear.
Does it sound anything like the tone of those guys?
No.
I don't think your point is proven.
That was a lovely song, though.
So, I could play a song sometime and you could speak in Celestial over it.
We should start a band!
Campaign over.
What if all of the Archons had Canadian accents?
Oh, come on, I would kill myself.
They're all...
What are we naming the band? Can we name it Vox?
I was thinking like cock turn up.
Rock turn up.
Alright, so anyway, I
Tearing up my notes.
Just with my style of singing, it wouldn't make sense.
Anyway, so
You want to take over the
we're
world?
not going to mention the item.
we will talk about
We're not
it.
even utter the words.
I don't think we should.
In the near future, we'll talk about it. However,
I was about to present it once I heard that, and then I saw how they reacted to you.
I'm just saying that if it was once an impenetrable fortress, it seems like it's been penetrated now, so perhaps it's not a good place for it.
that would certainly seem to be true.
Fair.
Now, I have
Fair.
some thoughts. One, we must rest. We must
Alright.
let our friend rest
Perhaps-
and pretend and leave as soon as possible.
Junla got us here, so perhaps you can get us back.
That's exactly what I was thinking, yes. Secondly, we must either use this flute or be rid of it. It seems that it would be wasted to hold on to it and get into this. Not now use it, just in general.
We can do exactly what we did with the other item and put it in the bag of holding if you guys think it's safer that way. It's just something that creature said. I think it might be useful against him. I don't know.
Well,
I was going to get rid of it before that, but I'm not like addicted to holding on to it. I just want to.
Sorry, we all know you love magical items.
I do. I got us do all the trouble getting it in the first place, but I don't want to give anything we can use away. Get rid of anything we can use. If all of you think that it's a good idea to get rid of it, I'll throw it out right now.
I mean, I don't think you should get rid of it necessarily. I'd be more inclined towards the using of it while we.
Well, the problem is I'm not. It can only the creatures resurrected by it can only be. They can only be surely controlled by something of evil nature.
But why get rid of it? Why is it so important of either use it or get rid of it? We're not using the other thing that we have.
We only need to get rid of it if we're intending to go towards the Citadel.
Yeah.
Well, the ruins of a Citadel of...
Right, so perhaps we should wait until the morning and see if Junla's able to get us back. If she comes here,
Where's she at?
I don't mean urgently get rid
You
of
look back
it.
over the hill and you see Colleen basically just sitting
I know.
at the base of the hill by herself.
What?
Slowly. Where her hand overlapping.
No, but the point was not that we should urgently get rid of this.
Junla's in the right now, yeah.
It was that if we are going to continue carrying it around, we should put it to use, or maybe not get rid of it, but stow it away.
I can do that.
I understand now.
We can
That
put
was
it
my
into
thought.
Fenrir's bag of holding, just like the other item.
Can you guys believe that something actually happened on First Watch?
Dude, that's rare.
Oh my god, I can't imagine what's in store for this the next 3.
The next 3 watches.
You don't know the half of it. We were flying everywhere.
Oh yes, yes.
Correct. Just
That was incredible.
you think up. You're stuck.
And I jump.
Last time he used fly, it didn't turn out so well for him.
Yeah.
That was on myself against a creature.
Oh, you can't expect a statue to leap almost 30 feet into the air.
Sindal, before we rest, can you add some more spells to my ring of spell holding?
Oh no, I use that for scenic purposes. Actually, yes, I do have some. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not
Puts in
powerful.
animate dead. No.
Animated.
What do I have left over now? Well,
Right. So we're going back and
Would it be
resting.
better
Right.
to rest and
Yes.
then you do it?
yes,
Yeah,
might
we'll do that.
somebody?
Perhaps we should keep an eye out on the Citadel for this group to come back.
If they're still curious and following us is another concern of mine. They seem quite honest and quite forthcoming. But these are creatures of, unlike the elves, a place I've never seen before. It's amazing here.
So
Can you not cast an alarm spell? I believe you did in the.
A small, brief space in an
Yeah,
open
sorry.
field.
I mean, between here and there. Well, where we're resting.
Yes, I could do that.
I feel like if these things want to attack us, they're gonna
So,
fucking win.
you take a moment, cast your alarm spell, set up a perimeter. You guys go about setting up your watch, go back to sleep.
Were you casting any spells in the
He-
morning?
Oh,
Should we wait until you rest and I get better spells?
Well, then I might need my own spell.
I was thinking.
No, I'll throw a. It's second one. That's all I have left. I'll give you. Are you completely out of spells?
No. In the ring? No, I have 3 slots available.
I can give you a second level and a first level. So I'll give you second level. You can have. Let's make it interesting. Phantasmal Force. Give you something new. And first level. You can have. I don't know. Protection from good and evil.
so
That's probably useful.
you guys go about, take a rest, set up your watch. Next couple hours pass by uneventfully.
I have a question before you continue. I'm sorry. What's up with my dog?
She's permanently dead.
Okay.
You have no idea.
What dog?
You don't
I
feel
can't
her, you
communicate with
don't
her.
hear her.
Am I able to try and summon her in this plane?
If you have a second level spell slot.
I have 1 left.
Can I still? Yeah, I can wild shape into a dog. To a mastiff.
Not a dire wolf.
I probably can now.
Cody, I like your shirt.
Thanks, I got a critical roll live.
Critical alive. No way. You went for that?
What's that?
No way!
Well, it was a live show.
I'm just thinking,
Much like this.
Critical roll.
if those, whatever they were, angelic beings came here because they felt a disturbance in the plane when we were summoned here, perhaps summoning Lune would cause another
It was a disturbance.
I haven't done
They
anything yet.
specifically
I
said a
just wanna know if
disturbance in
I
the
can.
field.
Oh,
In the field.
You also remember distinctly that Junla roared incredibly loud and it echoed out across the field.
that would probably... Alright.
It's not like Lune's evil.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're evil.
I mean, she might not like you, but
So-
Oh, is Phantasmal Force in that other book that I don't?
No, that's in there.
So you take an action and dismiss her
PH.
Yeah.
because you have to do that first before you can resummon her.
oh, okay.
And then you take 10 minutes, cast your spell. You see, a moment later, mist of reds and browns. You see that Lune's form coalesces, steps out of it, her armor there. She kind of shakes, looks around to everyone for a second, and then comes up to you. And just she looks aside of your face. And Fenrir, I'm glad you're all right. You disappeared. I didn't know where you.
I can fucking translate.
Yeah,
She starts to sniff the air. Turns in the direction of where Junla is invisible. You just hear a low growl start to come from her form. And then a moment later, you hear a much louder, deeper growl come from where Junla is.
from her.
From the Drake.
Oh.
And you just hear her voice. Mind your manners, beast. I've feasted on larger creatures than you.
June. That's Junla, Lune.
I don't like
This
it.
is all the events that have gone on since we've been separated. She means us no harm. She actually saved us.
Then I owe her one.
Fair enough. I'm sorry I wasn't able to bring you along. It was not, a choice I would have liked to make, but...
She kind of walks up and kind of goes to rub up against you and hits you kind of harder, knocks you off your feet, kind of catches you off guard, and she just lays down next to you. So, you guys take a rest.
Real quick, do you respond telepathically or do you only hear telepathically with Lene?
I can choose to do either.
Okay, so you can communicate.
In this instance...
Yeah, but
it says
you hear no communication from her end.
Right, I knew
she
that.
can't speak, yeah.
We're just like...
I know it's one way,
he's
all
just
telepath.
talking to himself.
Right,
Or to his dog.
he's having a full-on conversation with this dog. It's not.
But what do you think we should do in this instance?
It's like somebody that actually talks to the real dog.
Okay. Except it's more eloquent and
not just mushy nose.
Pretty sure she'd eat me if I did that.
I think that should be the only way
So-
we're able to communicate with her.
You guys
that's better. In a Canadian accent.
take your rest. It's difficult, not impossible, but it's difficult sleeping here because there is no darkness. You guys have slept in the daytime before, but it is unwavering. There is no shift in the 8 hours. There's no change in the light at all. You guys sleep for about 8 hours. Your invisibility fades, and you can see.
Pretty sure it faded after an hour.
Yeah. You see, Junla seems to have a little bit more stamina. She still seems very weak. Still breathing a little bit heavier.
Maybe we did kind of fuck her up.
Alright. I think I can get us back to the material plane.
Quick question.
Where do we want to go? Back to Galisari?
Well, so about that,
I can't go anywhere.
Junla, are you able? Wait, what? Are you able to look like yourself?
So she takes a moment. Her eyes open up again. I can't seem to figure out how to do that yet. I think with time I might be able. But regardless, I can't go back to that city.
I have more questions for you. Are you? The ability to cross planes is an incredibly powerful magic, which...
It's a gift from the stars.
Are you a master of the arcane now? In your new form?
No, not the arcane. This is a more divine power. You don't draw it distinctly from a god, or not from the weave, but from... Jesus. Stop!
I'm just thinking of Rusty.
Don't touch the
But from the stars themselves, I draw my power.
So, no, I was just... Before we decide where to go, what's next for you?
I rest, try to regain my strength. She looks to call in, figure out if there was some greater purpose to me coming back than to just be.
I think there had to have been if there was. I mean, Cullen's reason for being, this vision that she had, was to bring you back. It had to be bestowed by something.
Our journey is far from over, I think, with you, Junla. We've only visited 3 of the temples where you claim there were 8. If these other 5 still exist, there may be still more.
Perhaps
To your becoming of your knowledge.
it would not be safe for any of you to travel with me. There is no home for me in the lands of men.
Me neither.
Anyone saw me and you were traveling with me, you would immediately be in danger. The companion to one of the ancient enemies of the great betrayer. I think it's best I take some time and explore whatever my powers are on my own. And if I figure anything out, I will seek you out again.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is, I mean, we may have forgotten about this, but we kind of kidnapped you from your father. What did we tell him?
Nothing.
Well, I mean, they might
We just don't go back
to Calasari.
until later, and then we left. We had nothing to do with you.
You see as she breathes in some of the clouds, the stardust that surround her. As she breathes it out, and it kind of forms into a cloud, solidifies. Small stone on the ground in front of you. You bend down and pick it up. You see a flash of Philip Thunderheart picking up a laughing girl and holding her in his arms when she was a child. The sound of her laughter, the sound of her voice. Come back and see. It's the greatest gift I can give him. Tell him I'll find him again one day.
You're not staying here, are you, on this plane?
No.
So you'll go back to the material plane.
Do you
stay
belong
in.
here, or do you belong in our plane?
I might have once belonged here, but my place here died 1,000 years ago.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you belong with us. But if you can't stay with us until you can regain physical form, obviously you can't travel with us in dragon form, but once you are able to take your humanoid form again in form if you can, you're welcome with us at any time. You'll always be our friend.
Thank you.
Just remember that you have a place. Do not let despair take hold of you.
Do I know of any particularly large caves near Calasari?
You know of a particularly large forest that one could hide in.
I wanted a cave.
Like a nice home.
I mean, you know of some caves.
In the misty mountains.
I mean, there are large mountainous regions to the east, on the other side of Osmond, where family back east is from.
Back east.
But
but not really.
Even if you're not with us, I have ways of communicating across long distances. I can at least check up, see how you're doing, if you ever need anything.
This won't be goodbye.
Nice.
Be until we see each other again.
So, where are we going?
Depends.
I mean,
Where do you wish to go?
do we want to go back to? Did we leave anything in Calasari?
You still have your
Cart.
your cart full of goods. So you still have boons to collect. Your father is still there. You guys didn't really leave a lot unattended, other than
The
your.
former emperor having escaped.
Well, that as well, but
We don't know where he
you
went.
you have no clue where to get started on something like that.
I mean,
Find out when
this
we
might
get
be our
there.
chance. I mean, if we can go anywhere we want, this might be our chance to go. If we don't want to be stuck in Calasari for the winter.
Vacation.
At this point, you guys have 2.5 months.
Oh, we have a little bit of time then.
Yes, you got. If you guys have about the half a month, if traveling on foot, to make a decision. That the furthest you could possibly make it, if you manage to get unimpeded on your travel, if you manage to make it to one of the railways, you could make it as far as Haven in Estros, the capital.
So we have a couple of weeks to decide that.
Yeah, you guys have about a week and a half to decide.
We should take a vacation trip somewhere for the winter.
A vacation for the winter
Yeah.
in a new place.
Like, yeah, somewhere warm. Somewhere. Well, I don't know. Are there actually going to be places that are kind of warm, or is it literally everywhere?
The entire continent feels the harsh, bitter effects.
Well, we should find a really fun place then. Make like an actual staycation.
Let's go to Kennywood.
Fuck, if I might.
Fuck you.
A great deal of Calasari is open to us. We are
Yeah, I say we go back.
we are well.
If we don't go back, you'll never finish your tattoo.
I need to finish that.
Also,
It's important.
they did use his boon to get teleported across the continent. If that is we could probably do the same if one of us wanted to use our boon to get the rest of us.
have
We
a-
don't need
I
to
have
use our
some beef
boon when
with
we
my
have a
boon.
magical dragon friend.
He's saying if we go back to Calasari.
Go back to Calasari later if we decide we want to travel.
It's
We
a
can probably.
waste of a boon when you have a magical dragon friend.
Is that all I'm good for today, Lily? You hear a chuckle?
You know I loves you, Junla.
So I was.
You hear the hum in response.
Does she blush also?
Make an insight check.
Oh yes, I'm proficient in insight.
Show that net 20.
Not blushing, just amused.
The most useless natural 20 of all time. Is this dragon blushing?
Is this dragon attracted to me? I need to know.
That's an tentacles.
Does it have tentacles?
I can take you to the forest.
I.
You can make your way to the city from there. I can't take you inside of the city.
That's fair enough. Korak guided us pretty far. I'm sure he could guide us back.
Indeed, yes. Is that the plan?
I mean, I think we have a little bit of unfinished business still, but.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I don't want to leave. I mean, we might be in a bit of trouble, but I don't want to leave Philip Thunderheart without any sort of
Ends
knowledge.
untied.
Let's just go to Calasari and live out winter as champions of the city.
You are Naruto. We are all.
Except for that guy.
Your friend
Are you?
Toa was.
Yes, well.
So, you guys gather together. Junla reaches out with her snout. All of you placing your hands on each other's shoulders, taking each other's hands. She touches her snout to the top of Lily's head.
Yes.
And you all have that flash of white light. You all feel lifted up off your feet. feet gently set back down on the ground. The light fades. And you hear the familiar sound of birds and small animals in the forest around you. You see the colors of autumn amongst the trees, reds and oranges and yellows. You feel the familiar pressing of the magic of the forest pressing in against you, Zarn and Sindal.
I forgot about this. It's only been a day, but
It's different being back here. You didn't really notice it being there, but there was almost like a borderline edge of euphoria that kind of followed along. Just a sense of like almost like oppressive happiness, like it was just forcing against you. Just like a level of peace, and now you're back here and you distinctly notice it missing.
not even like another plane.
Yeah.
Having long rested, do my hit points go back up to the normal maximum?
Yes.
Can we take a break? Can we take a break? I have to be really bad.
So,
Moving on.
Junla turns,
Let's drink that
looks
water.
at all of you. This is where our paths split. I look forward to the day I get to see all of you again. For what?
Junla, I mean to search for a way to find these other junctions and continue this journey with you. If we mean to stay in Kelisari, that would be the best place for me to research and understand a way for this to work. That will be my goal.
Do you have any idea if they would be in other parts of the continent or in this area?
Just
I remember that there were 5 on this continent, and 3 to the east. That's Tundera, across the sea.
That's pretty far.
Perhaps that's where I'll go. Search those ones. But if you find anything with your ability,
I can get a hold of you.
let me know. Until then, may the Platinum Protector, for what it's worth, watch over you.
Goodbye, my friend.
Is there any magical means of staying in touch?
Yes, I can do that.
With each of you, I have not the ability. You see her snorting, smoke kind of rolls out.
If only we would have remembered to get those sending stones.
farewell, Junla.
You see her walk off into the forest.
What about Kalan?
So Colin is still standing with you, just watching her as she goes. With a look of bewilderment and confusion. And with the trailing dust of starlight slowly fading away as Junla passes from sight. That's where we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hope you guys like it so far. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. We're just going to take a little pee break.
Yo, Troy, guess who just messaged me?
Hold on. What is your DC and a
You just start here, and then you shave a line right around here up into the mustache. This shows like a swirly cat's tail. It's beautiful. I used to do like goofy facial hair for Christmas time.
And we're back.
It requires me to be able to grow thick facial hair.
So, you all watch as Junla, damn table, as Junla passes from sight into the forest.
Kalena, are you going to go with her?
I don't think I can right now follow a Drake if she takes off and flies away.
I mean, she's pretty big. You can probably ride on her.
She didn't thank me.
It's quite a lot to lose for nothing, it seems.
She's... Well, I mean, she's not in the right mind right now.
Yes, well, I suppose you're back off to Calasari.
Kalen, I'm not sure we have a destination in mind. If you feel to, well, perhaps I speak out of turn. I would like to go back to Calasari and help rebuild for the coming winter, but after that I don't think I can stay. If you all would have me, I would love to come along further.
Either way, I won't be able to follow. I won't be welcome in any city, in town. Kill me on sight. We'll have the same problem she does.
Kalan, the most important question I have for you is: do you feel as though your vision for your meaning, do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel as though that was correct? Do you feel?
I feel like I've served my purpose. I didn't have any more dreams, no vision last night. It's the first quiet night in a long time. So I think I fulfilled what I was supposed to do, but no satisfaction out of it. I'm sorry, I don't... We found a Drake! It's crazy. I think I'll be alright. I'm going to find another tribe in the forest to ride out the winter and turn back to life as usual, I suppose.
Are you certain? Is that what you want?
It's not a matter of what I want anymore. That was taken from me.
Well, I already said it once. It's not too late for you to go with Junla.
She has her own path to walk. So do I. If you're ever passing through the forest, you need a guide, if I happen to be nearby, I'm more than willing to help. Perhaps next time my tribe won't try to kill you if you on your approach.
Kalan, thank you for everything that you've done. I deeply regret a lot of my mistakes along the way. I'm sorry.
Nothing. None of you did anything wrong.
No,
blame her, but neither did she. It's just the simple paths we have to walk. Who knows where they may cross again.
I hope to see you again someday.
As do I. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I don't know that I will even be able to speak of it to the next tribe I try to find. They may think I'm bit touched in the head.
Yes, you may sound as though you're some sort of doomsayer.
Yes. Oh, I've seen the first dragon in 1,000 years.
You've seen the plane where the battle of the two greatest dragons that have ever known to exist that were gods.
And a little girl
guess
with
that-
fox ears.
The Night Mother.
The Night Mother. Have you heard of her?
She kind of has a bit more of a smile on her face now.
Doesn't. I mean, you said it's once in a lifetime. It doesn't have to be once in a lifetime. The reason.
How many more times are we going to see Drake?
Well, maybe not the same exact experience. But, I mean, the reason I started adventuring in the first place was for this kind of thing.
Well,
To experience as much as possible.
I hope you experience many more things. I don't think my heart can take it again.
Fair enough.
Farewell, Nocturnal.
Goodbye, Colin.
Thanks.
May the Mother watch over you.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing to you that I said to Junla. We consider you a friend, and you always have a place amongst us if you ever need our help.
Thank you. She kind of squares her shoulders a little bit and kind of readjusts the grip on her staff, and she bounds off into the forest. So, Korak, taking the lead. You're not very far from the edge of the forest. You're maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
You get a pretty good idea. You leading the way, having traveled these woods many times before, lead the group through the forest with no problem. Like I said, about 2 hours later, you guys break the tree line into the wide swath of cut trees that Shagra and his army left in their wake. And there, about half a mile off, you see, well, actually a little bit further than that, probably like a mile and a half off. You see, it's early morning at this point. Based off of when you guys had left versus how long you guys slept, unless days have passed, it doesn't seem like you guys missed any form of time, or if you did, you skipped exactly X amount of days forward. But still fall. You all see in front of you the lines and formations of the army of Hothane forming up into ranks. You start walking across and you hear people shouting orders. It's early in the morning, maybe like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning at this point, as you guys are walking towards the city. Thum, 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 thum. You start to hear the sound of drums in a rhythmic pace, and you hear shouting as you start to see some of the formations of soldiers begin to march north. Walking out, kind of clearing a path around them. You continue to head towards the city.
These are
Hothane soldiers.
Okay.
So they're just going home?
A few minutes pass, walking towards the city. You come to the remnants of... Oh, jeez, I haven't looked at my notes in a long time. You come to the remnants of Noldath, the district outside the city. See, still, seemingly have made no progress. Shacks, half-built buildings, but you see no one working this morning. I need everybody to make a perception check.
Come on, Gil.
21.
Perception, you say?
Natural 20.
Oh, 9.
Second one in a row with
12
all
right?
stuff.
14.
Actually, 15. Or, sorry, 13.
First to check the blushing status of the
So,
dragon.
what did you have, Zorn?
21.
21? Okay. You guys looking around, you notice, Zorn, you notice that amongst the ranks of soldiers, you see groups of humans and half-orcs with small packs on their back, kind of marching in, or not marching, but walking in between different formations of soldiers. Some of them pulling wagons, some of them sitting on wagons themselves. Mostly half-orc. Lily, your natural 20. Still a ways off. But you see at the gate to the city the archway, the stone wall coming along, the double wooden doors hanging open. The archway above the door connecting the two walls. You see hanging from the ramparts on the outside of the wall, 2 humanoid bodies hung by the neck, gray-skinned half-orcs, with signs hung around their neck saying thief and traitor.
I don't convey any of this to the group.
Seriously, this time? Was this the... sorry. I guess it doesn't matter.
You don't know?
So you saw ranks of
Groups of
humans and half-orcs being moved out?
a lot of half-orcs. They're not like in chains or anything.
Yeah.
But they are marching with
It's
hopping.
probably a lot of the people from Nordath and the half-orcs that feel discriminated against here, leaving all they can.
So, the rest of you guys continue to walk towards the city. A few minutes later, see what I just described to Lily.
See? It was alright.
Are they moving towards, like, anything I would recognize?
They're moving north. They're just following the main road.
Where's Newark?
It would be northwest.
Are they being escorted by Halfling soldiers? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it seems as if there is a procession of sorts. You see that not only just amongst them are like half-orcs, but you see that there are merchants, there are supply carts. It just seems as if the army is moving, and people are moving with the army.
Cool. I look for a regular-looking person. Like not a soldier, but like a merchant or something. Hello, sir.
Yes, how can I help you?
What day is it?
It's the 15th of April.
That's not like substantially wrong, correct? Compared to whenever we were here
Nah,
last.
it's the next day.
Okay. You're so stupid. Thank you. How long of distance will it take these soldiers to reach their destination? I assume not.
5 days.
Well, I assume that some of them will be stopping off along the way, but for the people that are heading all the way back to Narc, it'll be a month and a half.
I stepped a lot closer to them. And these half-orcs with them.
Ah, yes, very messy business. He kind of gestures back towards the gate. Killed some of the thieves. Apparently they were trying to steal food. The Empress had them hung. A lot of people didn't like that. So they're heading out of the city. I don't know that they'll necessarily find safety in Narc, but they'll be able to find places to rest.
I see, so they get kicked out.
I don't think they. I heard no royal decree telling them to leave. I think people are just not happy.
I think it's better that they move, though. They're only ever going to suffer from oppression here, I think. I mean, and I honestly don't really, it's hard to blame the elves for it after what just happened. No offense, if you're looking at it from both sides, it's hard to.
Oh, no, I understand. I know how elves are.
Thank you, sir. I wish you good travel, safe through. So long as you
course.
stay before winter.
Be safe. Yeah. And he kind of cracks the whip, and
That was a nice little boost.
That wasn't it. Yeah, that wasn't it.
Yeah!
and his wagon rolls forward. So, you all head towards the gate. As you approach, you hear halt. And you hear clicks. As you look up and you see leaning over the battlement, you see 3 archers with crossbows aiming down at you.
At all of us?
At the group, not anyone in particular. A moment later, you see a group of. A few moments pass, and a group of 10 soldiers or guards come out, glaives, short swords. Hail, Erito, correct? It is to my understanding.
Yeah.
Zorn, Lily, Sindal, Fenrir, and Albert. Half-orc.
This is.
Am I correct?
No, Korak.
Correct, thank you. Am I correct in my naming of you? By royal decree, you are all under arrest for kidnapping a diplomat's daughter.
Oh, this is
Guards?
bullshit.
Seize them. And you see the guards step forward with manacles. You have a right to be brought before the Empress for judgment. If you resist arrest or attempt to use magic of any kind to free yourselves, you will be judged with extreme prejudice. Manacles are slapped on all of you. For you, they wrap your hands in cloth.
Just to be clear, we don't want to resist, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, just especially you.
Correct, for you, as they after they put the manacles on you, one of them walks up and hits you over the back of the head. The other one kind of hits you in the back of the leg and drops you to one knee.
I go, hey, easy there, bud.
Roughly pick you back up.
He's always standing up for half-orcs. I love it.
You start marching you guys through the city.
He's a god.
So strong.
You guys are marched for about 10 minutes until you were brought to a stone building. You guys are brought in. You see that there's a series of cells. Each of you are separately thrown into a different cell. Still have your manacles left on you. Your weapons, your packs are all taken from you.
Studded leather armor again.
They block your cells. Guards walk away.
I'm going to. What's Lune's status?
Lune had a muzzle put on her, and they essentially with spears forced her away.
All right, I'm going to dismiss her.
Okay. Somewhere you feel her presence disappear.
Are we like within?
You guys are all in cells, like you can like look across and see the other people, and you're in a series of 6 cells.
Did you say I can speak? Or did they?
You're still able to speak, but you're not able to do any form of
Hand gesture.
I'm assuming she was probably going to be like resisting.
Yes,
that whole
yes,
thing.
she-
So, like,
she
as
would've-
that was happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Dismiss her.
I forgot to roll for this rogue.
That's where
I mean, can't say I didn't expect this, but I can't say I blame them.
Well,
Although treating,
But are we?
they,
Like,
they certainly don't seem very,
Only got one back.
very grateful for us saving their city, the way they treated us.
Yeah, I mean, we take one kid and who's gonna be mistreated anyway, and we save a whole city. Is it really that bad?
No, even taking one kid's still pretty bad.
I mean, but what they were doing was worse.
Fenrir, you kind of sound drunk.
Well, from what I could tell, she was not really taken so much as
She was going to leave.
escorted.
She was going to leave whether or not we took her.
And we just made
Or
sure she
not.
got there safely.
Alright, well, we'll have a chance for trial.
I mean, so what, is that our plan here?
Roll a perception check.
I mean, we have our boots. Like, I gotta imagine that counts for something.
So
Roll hard.
I have a new proficiency, so... 19.
While I'm having this
I
conversation,
accidentally murder
you're
someone
listening
down
to
there,
them,
that can't
and you
really part of
take a moment, and you can just kind of press against the bars and look around a little bit. You look down the way towards the end where you see that the guards are stationed, essentially. You see all of your gear sitting on a table. You see that the guards are unsheathing weapons, looking at them. You can see that there's a spellcaster who's lazily casting a spell, just looking at the different items that are coming out. Pull out a hammer, the three-headed maul. So they pull out the flute,
Oh shit.
a bit confused. Said it's separate from the others.
You know what else they're gonna find?
No, they can't.
They start flipping. You see that the wizard starts opening up the different books that you carry, flipping through them. You see them pick up the one book. You see him start flipping. And you see him drop the book suddenly and... What the hell is that? Just kind of look back to you and you're
How close are they to us?
about 30, 40 feet off. Dunk. Sets it there next to the flute. You see the one pick up Fenrir's bag of holding. It's empty. Idiot, no it's not. Wizard reaches over and grabs the bag. Reaches about elbow deep into it. You see the end of it pinch. And it flips inside out. All the things you have in the bag of holding from spilling out onto the floor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You see
Screams Christ.
start rolling out into the jail cell area. Are rapidly flicking, looking around.
I hold out.
Lidless pupil.
Do not touch that with your bare hands.
I need you to make a wisdom saving
It
throw.
belongs to Lily.
+3.
My dude.
We'll see. Hold on.
Yeah, close to him.
Truly doesn't matter. It's a natural one.
Oh my fucking god. How dare Korak.
Should have rolled my critical roll die.
You
No.
look at it. And you see it flicking around. And your eyes lock to it. And as it continues to roll, suddenly the pupil locks on you and continues to roll, which is weird because you can see it rolling, but the pupil is horizontal, staring at you. You hear in your head,
How slow is it moving though? Right? Just
it's slowly rolling.
Can be my champion. All you have to do is seize this eye.
I need you to make an athletics check with advantage.
Oh, I was gonna say, with a natural one, I'm like, yeah, I'm going for it.
athletics with advantage?
Yep.
That's a natural 20 with +6.
So you see, as the eye starts rolling down, after about a moment, you hear Korak yell at the top of his lungs, and you hear as the manacles that bind him break.
And a
You
19.
see the bars start to bend.
I yell. I start
bending.
No, I yell. Is the Temple of Aura active?
Can we?
What? No! Stop that orc! And you see them pull out weapons and start to head in the direction of
spells right
Korak.
now, or do they take all of our shit, like my druid focus and everything?
If you have something that doesn't, you can try anything that doesn't require a focus.
Looking.
No, not answering your
So
question.
obviously I roll a natural 1 on the wisdom check, and a 19 and a 20 on the athletics check.
Am I holding a small piece of iron? I mean, I am in manacles. I want to try to cast Hold Person on him.
Okay. I need you to make a, what is it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw against
Wisdom?
this DC.
Alright. 6.
Suck a dick, you are paralyzed.
So you see as Korak bends the bars back and goes to push himself out, he's about head and shoulder out of the bars, his hand reaching towards it, his fingers attempting to reach and grab the slowly rolling eye. His hands lock in place as you see the eye roll just past his fingertips. Just feel the rage rolling through you as
you need to cover that up right now and without touching it and put it back in that bag of holding.
first we're going to deal with this orc.
No, there's no need to deal with him. I deal with him.
No need to deal with him. He just bent the bars, attempted to escape.
He's being twisted by that evil object.
That's reason enough to kill him.
He's being twisted by that evil object. If you put it away, he won't be a problem.
Make a persuasion check.
You know what? Wait a minute. I'm feeling lucky. No, I'm not. 13 was my original. Although technically I accidentally tossed that map.
Guard pulls out his longsword. Steps up to you. How many times can you make the saving throw? Is it every round you make a saving throw against hold person?
Will you splash on your Morgan Warlock?
End of each turn.
So make one more wisdom saving throw, Korak. Also, I need you to make another wisdom saving throw just in general.
So I'm just going to roll 2 and they're both saving throws, not with advantage.
Well,
The first one is against hold person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dictate which one.
So the critical roll die will be against one person.
Okay.
Critical roll is 15. Other one is 4.
My DC is 15.
So your whole person breaks.
Oh!
And your lust for the item continues. As you...
Wait. Oh, wait. I can't use luck because I already know the outcome now, right?
I'm going to use my Oath of Vengeance and do hold person on him as well.
Oh shit.
Make one more wisdom saving throw.
Alright, we'll let that happen.
I'm so good
Because
at
I can't
wisdom saving
remember
throws, guys.
They take my flute.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a 19.
So you succeeded against
I
it.
roll super well against the
I
bad
want to see what's
stuff.
going to happen.
So in your rage, you pull yourself the rest of the way out of the cell, and you see now standing between you and your prize an elf guard holding a short sword.
Do I have free will?
You know what your desire is.
Okay. I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
I can't do anything with all my items.
I start yelling to the magic user, I assume.
I'm a tiny chained up little girl.
And I start yelling at him. There's an eye on the ground. You must cover it with a cloth.
Make a persuasion check. Go ahead and make your attacks.
I imagine I'd be raging.
Oh yeah, that's why I made it with advantage. Because
Yeah,
you
okay.
immediately went into a rage to get yourself out.
And I also imagine it'd be recklessly that I'd be attacking. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is your call what you're trying to do, but you have a distinct purpose.
Oh, I'm going for that eye, and I'm getting it.
Of course.
If I can, I'm getting
pretty
it.
sure his my 15.
Wait, I don't have my weapon.
No.
So what plus do I have? Nothing?
You have plus your strength and plus your proficiency.
Well, I mean to hit.
Yeah, it's plus your strength, but it's
plus
just your normal, whatever your normal plus for a weapon would be without, like, Because you have the plus
that's
2
right,
longsword,
that's right,
so it's
that's
just
right.
your strength and proficiency.
Okay, so that's 21.
21? It's a hit. Go ahead and roll a d4, half it, and then add your strength.
Oh, I've never rolled a critical roll d4. Oh, that's 4. 2, and you said half it, and then plus my strength?
Yep.
6.
Are we going into initiative, or can we just freely?
You can throw things out. It's just I'm pseudo keeping initiative in my head. Well, in your persuasion check was a 15?
15, correct.
You see the elf mage take a look at you. Takes a look at the eye for a second. Starts going through, like kind of shifting through some of the stuff you guys have on the table.
So
Where's the eye in relation to me?
Yeah.
In relation to you, so it would have been. Lily had to be able to see, so. Let me see. You are the. So essentially the cells go. Korak. Lily. Bear. Sarn. Sidal.
How wide are the openings in the bars? Think about that much.
Wide enough that you could attempt to squeeze between them if you want to.
Where's the eye at?
The eye is right about here. And actually now, because you guys are cells are a little bit further apart.
And he's going
The
balls
eye's
to the
not
wall
here.
for this thing.
Korak
Well, I
is
just
here.
punched this elf guy in the face.
So there's an elf guard right about there.
Can I? I'm gonna try it. Cause I gotta keep that eye away from
Hey
him.
man, do what you gotta do.
I want to transform into a crow or a smaller bird.
Polymorph me.
I don't think I can polymorph you because I don't have my druid focus and I don't know what polymorph
So
is.
you shapeshift into a bird form. Your manacles hit the ground.
And I'm gonna try to just tap this thing down the hallway just to keep him away from it.
Okay, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah! Woo! It's not bad.
No, not at all.
Oh, that's real good.
Wisdom. Oh shit, that's a 21.
21. Okay, as you fly up to this thing, kind of hit it with your beak and with your feet, and it rolls a little bit further down the hallway. You see a flash of a single eye. You feel a wave of anger roll across you, but you very quickly manage to regain your senses as you see the eye is rolling away from you as you stand there. Guard. He's gonna make his attacks.
Did you rage?
What's your armor class?
Mine?
Yeah.
Against what?
Melee attacks.
I don't have a shield, so 17.
Okay. So that's a 19 and higher than that.
This could be it. This could be where Lily gets the eye.
Fingers crossed.
First attack is 8, half to 4. The second attack is 7, rounded to 3. He comes up and slashes you with two quick slashes with the short sword. Doesn't seem to really phase you too much, and he takes it a little bit more seriously as you see he flips out a dagger as well.
Is there? I look down the hallway, or where all the stuff is. Is there anything that's not any non-magical bags, cloths, anything they took from us?
I mean, there's your backpacks.
I use my new spell that I just got, animate objects.
Oh shit!
Animate the backpacks and command them to cover the eye.
That's fucking awesome.
I just looked at it. It doesn't require material components, so I can use it.
That's fucking It was a long time ago. I was very torn between halfling barbarian and half orc barbarian. And
Verbal and semantic.
This makes me very
So, you hum quietly under your breath for a moment, and you guys see as the backpacks and that you guys carry all of a sudden fly up into the air as you see the wizard that was kind of standing there at the end very quickly kind of steps back.
I'm doing this to cover the eye. It's not a problem.
The wizard in response
Counterspell.
is going to turn down, look in your direction, and is going to
Bring it on, baby.
flick out his hands, and you see 4 magical beads appear, all flying towards you. You take 3 half to 1. Jesus. 1, 2, 4.
Take 1 damage.
You take 8 points of damage because he's bear druid.
Dang, that was
He's
Everything but psychic.
He's a barbarian.
Gotcha.
I don't know how else to put that. Like,
We'll see.
or no, just a barbarian.
I took the
in.
Totem Warrior with the bear feat where everything is half when I'm raging except for psychic. You say 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
As the darts hit into your back again, I need you to go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so good at these. Unless it's for a good cause. 15.
Just what you needed.
Hey.
You feel still angry. You still feel the bloodlust running through you from the thrill of the fight. But the anger subsides, and you remember this feeling once before.
So I recognize what the source is.
This is exactly the same sensation that you almost succumbed to
Right.
during Shrabra's assault on Celestia.
I'm gonna hide in my crow form back in my cell.
I haven't.
Jump in. A moment later, you see the backpacks all flying down and just like dog pile on top of it, and they like kind of coordinate and push with each other and kind of close the one bag, and it's now just floating inside of.
And I'm.
Are the bars thin enough, wide enough that that the backpack with this in could fly into me?
Oh yeah, the backpack can totally compress down.
I command it to come to me.
And I'm going to yell, "You idiots!" And I'm going to walk back in the cell and push the bars back.
Okay. As you're stepping back, you feel 2 slashes and a dagger under your back.
Okay.
You take. Did you drop rage or no?
No.
Okay. So that's 9 half to 4, 4 half to 2, and then 7 half to 3.
Okay, so 9 total?
9 points of damage as he slashes you across the back and kind of jams the dagger into your shoulder blade. And you see me kind of unperturbed. The bars warped and bent back into place.
And I'm just. You 3 damned fools wouldn't have thought to have asked us if it was a bag of holding and what the contents inside might be.
Oh, I'm sorry for not assuming that you had a magical item that would drive your travel companion wild, turn him into a rabid beast, striking a guard. It's a high offense.
So let's say you were magically compelled to attack the Empress. Would you hold that against yourself?
You put a citizen of Celestia's life in danger.
I am a citizen of Celestia who has done nothing wrong until I was put in this situation.
And you didn't answer the question.
And you did not answer the question.
You half-bloods aren't part of this city anymore.
It always comes to that.
Oh, this racism is driving me crazy.
I'll take that bag, boy.
You couldn't even listen.
You'd be dead right now if it wasn't for us.
Was I, aware of what was going on?
No.
Okay.
Mage, you might want to ask us some questions and we would be glad to answer.
I'll ask the questions once we have that bag in our possession.
I don't think that
Also, girl, turn back into your normal form before
they know?
you do best to turn back into your normal form before I roast you alive.
Oh!
Fine.
Fuck the police conversation.
Turn back. Reshackle you.
Mage, this cruelty and mistreatment is certainly unnecessary. We are happy to answer to the Empress, for which you have said we will stand trial in front of.
Right, you'll stand trial. There was no foul treatment until your friend attacked us.
Are you kidding me? You knocked him in the friggin' head as soon as you put him in cuffs, you
It wasn't
asshole.
me that did that.
Well, you speak for your men. Bullshit.
They'll face the judgment that they will face for the things they've done. Of course.
The same judgment that a half-orc would face, correct?
Well,
And I slid on the ground in his direction.
the bag. Holds out his hand.
And what will you do with it?
I'm going to go set it down over there, and then I'm going to come back over and politely ask what the hell it is.
Right. I'll get it to you, but you do not take anything. But you have to promise that none of our items leave this room until after we stand trial.
Everything that's here in this room is under possession of the Empress until we are told otherwise.
Why are you going through it?
Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Why we're going through it? To make sure that you're not carrying any dangerous items, such as.
We're not carrying it. It's in your possession.
Do you look through all of the Empress's items?
We need to understand what it is that you carry. If you have some hidden item, such as something that contains a delayed fireball, or something that might help you set you and your companions free, we need to be aware of it. Which is why we're going through all of your
wanted to be free.
We clearly be out of it. It seems clear we could set ourselves free if we wished.
Yes, set foot out that door. Find out how many crossbow arrows you'll have in your chest before you get 10 feet
Do you
outside.
know who this man is?
Please. Please.
Crossbows arrows.
Please. I even dismissed
I
my
hand him the
dialogue.
bag.
He takes it, walks it over, sets it down, comes back over.
I command the rest of the bags to go back to.
Go on, guys. It's okay.
I go back over. Golden. So, perhaps we got off on the wrong foot. Might I ask, what was that round eye-like object that rolled down the floor that seemed to magically persuade your friend to madness?
It was a ball of rage.
Ball of rage. Am I supposed to be impressed by this?
No. I mean, perhaps by my strength, but...
It only works on weak-minded individuals.
I can see why it affected your friend then.
I know, right? It's honestly not that impressive of an item.
So,
We were going to figure out something to do with it, but we were keeping safe holding of it and had to have it holding, so... Until you flipped it inside out without asking what was in it.
Like an idiot.
What you were doing.
So, I might believe you. I might not. I'm telling you now, I'm about to go down and cast an identify spell on that item to figure out exactly what it is. So I'm going to give you one opportunity. Tell me what that item really is.
It is an item that was pried from Chagra's eye, and was what gave him command over the orcs. We were holding it to find a way to destroy it.
I'm sure you
The
were
leader of the orcs that we killed to save the city.
Yes, and for that I am thankful.
You
But-
certainly seem...
Yeah, you remember that?
Listen, I'm not the one that kidnapped the diplomat's daughter.
Neither are we.
You
The
don't
charges levied against you.
know. You don't know.
And here we sit, presumed guilty.
A trial.
If this, you will be given a trial. You will be brought before the Empress.
The matter at hand, if I might set us back on track, is that I would not suggest casting an identify spell on that. I would leave this eye for the Empress
Yeah.
to understand what it is. This is not something that needs to be known.
That object has an intense hatred for elves and could dominate your mind if it looks at you.
Well, then if
You're
that's the
meddling in
case-
things that aren't meant to be meddled in, my friend. So why don't you just back the fuck out of here and give us a beat?
Nailed it.
Alright, well then if that's the case, then I'll take it to the Empress to be inspected.
Don't know if that's a good idea either, and so we're done with this, so we can talk to her about it.
Get to talk to her at your trial.
When would our trial?
Later in the day. Once the Empress has identified what this item is. Walks over.
I really don't think you want her to look at it.
The speed of their
In
justice
her state, it
system,
could hurt
especially-
you harm her.
Especially in her state.
Do not touch it directly. You must not.
So you want the Empress to look at it. And yet you say it can harm her.
She needs to understand what it is. She will
Well,
look at it
you are-
herself.
I already said it only works on weak-minded individuals.
Well,
Didn't you hear
then
that?
the Empress will be fine to look at it.
Well, the Empress
Exactly.
is pretty weak right now.
Her body may be weak, but her spirit is strong.
How do you know that?
Because she is our leader. I've seen her.
You wanted to know what the eye was. I've explained it to you. It's an extremely dangerous artifact.
Something we don't even understand yet.
Make a persuasion check. Disadvantage.
Because I've been mean, because you're Canadian.
Yeah.
Because you're Canadian and you're overly nice.
So no one believes me.
It's a fail.
Well then, if it is an artifact, we'll make sure that the other archmages are there. Watch over them. Make sure they don't break up.
Do you not understand? Are you so dense that you're beyond the comprehension of a half-orc? Like, clearly I understand the strength of this object.
If it's dangerous, then why would we leave it here?
I'm not asking you to leave it here.
Then what are you asking me to do?
To not be a fucking moron. To do the right thing with it and to leave it unperturbed.
So leave it here.
I'm doing the right thing. I'm reporting a dangerous item to my superiors. Picks up the bag,
Good luck, bud.
walks out the door.
The fate of this city's on you.
As he's wondering what the rest say, you
What-
might regret this.
What's your name?
Fired.
Can I get your name?
You guys,
your
you guys
manager.
validate parking?
What's your badge number?
What's your badge number? That's what I was about to say.
So,
Which township are you with?
a few minutes pass. The other guard
Chippewa or Cranberry?
walks over to
It all comes full circle.
walks over. No, not as much staring or going through your stuff, just kind of pushing it around for a couple minutes, and then he sits down and he puts his feet up, and he whistles, and a couple hours go by. You guys hear the door of the jail open up as you see an array of 6 guards come walking in. We're here for the prisoners. Alright. Watch out for the big one. A little stronger than he looks. See them kind of come out, rally you guys all together, start marching you guys out. March you through the city. Make an insight check.
Sure. Seven.
So, okay. As you guys are being forced to walk down the street, you see crowds of people kind of gather up along the sidewalks, just curiously watching as your procession goes along. You guys come to one of the main roads in the city, and you all head towards the interior district. You'll march through the gates there after a bit of talking with the guards, and you're brought towards the arcane gathering. You can see up above, floating above the city, the Heart of Magic. Floating, you don't see from the last time, whenever you first came to the city. You saw groups of Griffin Riders circling the castle. Now it just seems to float an empty shell of what it was. You can still see some of the broken towers from the explosion. You're walked into the Arcane Gathering, into the Elder's Confluence, the large central building to the Arcane Gathering where the teleportation circles are. And you're brought in. You can see that inside there's about 24 guards. There are standing towards the back. You see Kildor, the general, and you see Tenesia and Vale Folomir, all standing next to the throne where you see the Empress sitting in flowing red robes of gold. Still, her skin sallow gray, veins of lyrium running up her neck, seeming to run more up into her face, all along her arms, on her hands.
Sickly looking?
Doesn't look great. I mean, she doesn't look like weak and sitting. She looks like she's sitting up, proud.
But like the lyrium.
The lyrium from the last time you saw her, it was like creeping up her neck.
Right.
At this point, it's creeped more like onto her actual face proper.
Quick question. Is there any way you can turn that vent off a little bit? I'm actually like freezing.
It's like doing the refrigerator.
Just turn it up to 73. Yeah, sorry.
It's just been like, I've been like shivering. I'm so bored.
Drawer, Caleb, bottom right.
I like felt my phone. My phone was like fucking cold.
That's back
I put my phone right here. So yeah, it's
You're all
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
brought
it.
more towards. You're all brought into the center of the room. It's an awkward moment of silence. The Empress speaks up. Nocturnum. You were brought here today on charges of kidnapping. Baron Philip Thunderheart's daughter, Junla. She kind of gestures out to the side, and you see the crowd. Some of the guards kind of move out of the way, and you see kind of rolling up in a wheelchair. You see Philip Thunderheart, his dark complexion, look of grief and anger on his face.
Real quick, do I see Patrick anywhere?
He's the one kind of standing behind him. He's kind of pushing his chair up as well. The charges are dire and serious. Reports from the guards were that you came into the city bearing no girl, not bringing her back. But before we can continue with this trial, she turns and looks to Pale. She says, because of my involvement with the accused, I, under good consciousness, must excuse myself from judgment. I cannot properly judge my son. The Empress nods her head towards him. Then he steps back into the crowd. The council appreciates your wisdom, Pale. Nocturnum. What do you have to say for yourselves? What defense do you have to kidnapping Junla Thunderheart?
I looked at everybody. Well, she sort of, how do I word this? We didn't really kidnap her. She came with us willingly, wanted to leave. They were running experiments on her. She was alone, felt miserable.
You hear Philip, that's not true. We're trying to find a cure, trying to fix her. And you kind of see the Empress hold up her hand. He stops. Yes, it's true that she may not have been happy, but that is not your judgment. It's not your decision to take her from her father, even if she wanted to go. She was a child.
Anybody that spoke to her could tell that there was more than just a child in her mind.
What do you mean?
She served some greater purpose. She had an enlightenment in her. We took her to one of the arcane junctions before, and it seemed to awaken something within her, some sort of greater intelligence. They were experimenting, she grew older. They were experimenting on her to try to get her back to her old form, and making no progress. She didn't want to stay here because of that. The person that was experimenting on her was treating her like an object rather than like a person.
She was making good results. She was gonna find a cure.
She knew nothing.
And then you took her away from me!
She knew less about her condition than we did. She knew nothing.
Please, continue.
So, she wanted to be taken to the rest of the arcane junctions, which were what we did. We took her to them, and something awoke within her. She's still alive.
What was this something?
She's not sure, and we're not sure.
Forgive me if it sounds rude, but where is she? Something awoke within her and she's just not here anymore?
She went off to figure out what it was. And I pull out the little, would I have that?
Yeah.
The object that...
It was the stone you were holding.
Yeah, you would.
So I pull out the stone, and I say, this is for her father. She gave it to us to give to him. She created it.
Crack whispered to his arm.
She created it. What's that? She created it. She created it herself. We asked what to tell her father that when she didn't come back with us, and she gave us this and said that sometime in the future she would try to come back to talk to him again, but she couldn't right now. And she gave us this to give to him.
She has one of the guards go over. You see him take it and is stunned for a second. Empress, there's something magical about this item. It's... Show me it. Let me see it first. It's brought up to her. She casts, you see the flash of arcane energy, and as it does, you see bead of sweat kind of roll down the side of her face as you see the veins of lyrium flash for a moment. You see almost a look of panic come across her face, but take it to her father. And walk over. This is all Bullshit, this is all fake. None of this is real. You took my daughter from me. She was all I had left. And you see that the guard hands it out to him. Drops it into his hand. You see just like a 1,000-yard stare kind of come across his face as he just looks forward. And you just see tears just start to roll down his face. She was all I had left. He looks up at the Empress. I, Philip Thunderheart Baron, to King Hasid Abraham, hereby drop charges against Nocturnal for kidnapping of Junla Thunderheart. Patrick, take me home. And you see him kind of grab the back of the chair. See Patrick just kind of give all of you a look of confusion, but a slight look of relaxation, like just kind of gives you all a slight head nod.
My character, I probably would have teared up a little bit watching it happen.
So I'm nodding, understanding that we're not going to have to kill all these people today. I don't say anything.
I stand shoulders
I have
tight,
the same thoughts as you.
look at Patrick, don't nod, and I just turn back straight to the Empress.
For those of you that were here for the trial, please feel free to leave yourselves. Please feel free to take your leave. You see some of the other people that are in robes, but not you. She looks to all of you.
Is my father, is he staying?
He steps back up towards the council. Essentially, all the people that aren't guards and the people that are in front of you, everyone else leaves. Sorry if you had any hardships. Things have not been easy. Trying to maintain control of the city. She kind of squares her shoulders. Now that that matter's out of the way, there's another serious issue to be discussed. I believe that one of you is more in danger of being around it than the others. Guards, remove him.
Might I suggest?
Probably just a good idea to go with.
I won't resist.
Yeah. Might your guards please refrain from punching and belittling our dear companion, compatriot, and friend?
Persuasion check.
Still shivering.
3.
Dude, we should trade since I love that cold shit.
I think
He will be returned to you intact. Guards grab you by the arms,
No resistance.
drag you outside. So, she turns and looks towards Kildor. Bring forth the artifact. You see that he kind of walks forward with a small pedestal, sets it there, with a small recess on the top of it, and he sits down. You see he pulls out the small sphere wrapped in cloth, sets it down, unveils it, and you see before you the eye, swirling back and forth, looking rapidly towards everyone in the room. A report from my guard is that you said that you took this from Chakra. This is no mere magic item.
You know what it is.
You know what it is, and yet you keep it for yourselves?
We went to look for a way to get rid of it and destroy it.
Empress, I had every intention to submit it to you and all of the Arcanists here. But quite frankly, I didn't know if word got out that this artifact exists and what it's capable of doing spread even to the small high-ups here in Kalasari, what they might use it for. The tensions with Orc, the way they are now. I can't say I trusted the fact that this exists in this city, the way things are, what it might be used for. That is why I did not bring it to you.
So you thought it would be safer to take it gallivanting out into the forest. What if you had died with the roaming orc packs that still wander through the forest to come across you and taken it? You could have faced a whole other war because of an ill-advised decision.
It was an ill-advised decision.
She held her hand up. What's done is done. I would hope in the future that you can trust us. The decision now remains what to do with it. Kildor.
Well, he's like...
Kildor chimes up. It says, sorry, not Kildor, Tenacia. If I might be honest, I don't think leaving it here in the city is the best place for it to be. The orcs breached the outer defenses. The city is weak. And while we're attempting to re-establish our defenses and to amplify the effects of the Temple of Ara to our better in our favor, we cannot stay here for the moment. Kildor. You think that taking an artifact such as this out onto the open road to take it somewhere else would be a better place for it to be? Traveling with it across magical ley lines would be dangerous. Could potentially send out ripples into the ether, into the other planes of existence. Someone else could find it, someone else could know about it. I think it's safer here than anywhere else. The Empress, I'm in agreement to that. We can make sure that it's safe once we finish our fixes on the Temple of Ara. Seeing as you know of it now, what are your opinions on this, my Harito?
Is there... Do I know of any god that is particularly against Grumsh? Like, any god that, like, is, like, particularly
That's
his
exactly
enemy?
what I was going to ask.
Religion checks.
That's exactly what I was trying to think. I was actually just going through my notes for it.
We discussed that a long time ago.
Yeah, we did, but and I know it's written down somewhere.
Yeah, no, but wasn't that...
What was it? Sorry?
16.
17.
Okay. So you remember from before that the story of Grumsh is that Coraline was the only god to ever stand up against Grumsh in single combat and defeat him, which is how he lost this eye to begin with. Coraline cut it from his face.
Pretty badass.
However, at this stage of the Pantheon, just most of the goodly gods of the Sovereign Host oppose him. There are those amongst the old gods that aren't particularly fond of him, but the only god that, or not the only god, but the one god that would stand up to Grooms probably the most would be Doldoran, the god of war.
To be honest, I don't. The reason we didn't. I mean, he already gave his reasons. The reason I didn't want to give it is because after the effects of that war, pretty much what Celestia said, we didn't think it would be safe. Figured we could go to another city, not perhaps some other city, and find a place, perhaps some temple of a god that is, or this temple or fortress of a god that is that outbunched, and perhaps find a place to lock it away, or even a way to destroy it if possible.
Roll a persuasion check.
That is a 12.
We're up to 3. 31.
I mean, unless if anyone else wants to speak up about it, so that's.
Well, yeah, if anyone else
I'm
wants
not there. Deep down inside.
I
I have a lot to say,
just
but
lost
I'm
my
not
train of thought.
Celestia. Celestia kind of chimes in and says, she just looks directly to the Empress. Danny, it's not safe here. We can't keep this here. We can barely manage to protect our own people. We had a traitor in our midst. Nilovir, do not speak to me of that traitor. Don't mention his name in my midst. You can see that the lyrium veins pulse, the different reds and blues and purples. So they dim down again. I know that we have enemies in our midst. There are those who would seek to usurp me. Raise this city to the ground. I will not cower in the face of our enemies. Calasari is strong. We'll become stronger than we were before. The artifact stays here. That is my decision. Celestia have like a look of wanting to say something, and she just kind of bites her tongue and just kind of swallows back the words.
I have a question before we leave this room. I don't know if I was supposed to say this or not, but I don't care. I'm a 14-year-old. So, I'm going to ask the Empress if she's ever heard of anybody by the name the Frozen Usurper of Death.
It's a legit question.
I was thinking about asking about it too.
Yes, I've heard of the Frozen Usurper of Death. Tale of a lich coming across from the endless frozen north during the winters when the ocean freezes solid. In the time before the rupture, he brought his legions of undead across the frozen ocean, seizing control of this continent. A group of adventurers struck up to bring him down to end his reign. There are some that believe that the rupture was the consequences of his darkness standing so long. I know it's not exactly a tale, but I believe there is exaggeration.
Do you know?
Why do you ask?
Do you know this group of adventurers that the tale speaks of?
I know not of specifics of them. They call themselves broken champions.
So, before I would say anything further, I'd kind of like look, almost waiting for like approval to continue our story to, I guess, Sindal and Zarn. Like, I don't know if I should.
Is there a purpose to you asking these questions?
So when we were taking Junla to this third junction, we encountered a celestial or a spirit or a ghost referring to himself as the frozen usurper of death. And we were able to do away with this spectral form, but he made threats that he would soon be returning, I think with winter. And he mistook us for apparently this group of broken champions. I mean, we're pretty badass, but we're not that badass.
We're not broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all broken.
Oh, you motherfucker.
I cry a little bit and then hug Fenrir.
Korak outside this hall sheds a tear as well.
Mainly to
We'll get to you in a minute.
Not knowing why.
staring off in the distance, one tear.
How many punches in the kidney can you take?
You see the Empress kind of straighten up in her chair and kind of sit forward. So, you mean to tell me, first, you kidnap a young girl.
Empress, she was going to leave either way. She asked for our escort.
You kidnap a young girl,
It's true.
telling me that she has some greater purpose, not knowing what this purpose is. You take her to these arcane junctions, and tell me not what happens when she gets there. And then you tell me at one of these junctions is the ancient spectre of what could potentially be an old wives' tale.
That's about right, yeah.
Maybe they'll write stories about us someday.
Appropriate response.
It was a pretty appropriate response, especially for a 14-year-old.
You have lofty goals.
Herb, that's
We have had. Perhaps it's delirium is affecting me more than I thought. The fact that I would think to trust, believe people that would do all of this come to me with an absolutely ludicrous story. All the while hiding an ancient artifact that was almost the cause of this city's destruction. I should have all of you hung for the city gates for this. For the time you've wasted.
Do you not remember what we did for the city? I mean,
I remember exactly what you did for this city.
out the window.
And that is why you have been that's why you were granted the title of Erato, and then you throw my gratitude in my face. You kidnapped the daughter of a baron for a king whose army could destroy the city. You potentially could have caused a war. I gave you the title of Erato. You would do well to think about your actions before stepping forward and performing them. The artifact stays here. You're dismissed. She turns. The guards step forward. Under your shackles.
Can I have done an insight check on her in that last statement?
Roll insight check.
That's fine. 17.
Send you a text here in a second.
Cool.
So, all of you, your shackles are undone. Guards turn. Escort you out of the Eldritch Complex.
And we find Korak beaten and bloody,
We'll see what's going on. We're getting
lying on the floor. Pants are ankle.
Well, let's
You're
go back
all-
in there and ask for our boons.
Brought out through the double doors leading into the chamber. You see, standing out there, Korak, amongst a few of the guards who have him essentially, they have his manacles on him, and he is essentially hooked kind of like underneath a wagon. He's just kind of like stuck in like a squatting position. And anytime that you tried to sit, the guards would come up and kick you to make you stand. So you're essentially stuck in like a squatting position.
Okay.
Just like low to the ground. And you can hear them just ridiculing you and laughing at you. And you all come out to see him. And seeing the doors open up, the guards very quickly lift up your shackles.
Oh, friend. Oh, hello. This has been the time out here.
You're all free to go about the city as you wish. You are not.
What?
No half-orcs are allowed inside the city gates to be allowed to walk freely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had heard there was no decree. That's no problem. Escort me out.
You start walking out towards the front gate.
Perhaps we should follow and make sure they don't abuse him.
Does he get his stuff back?
Yeah, is that
Do we
You
get
get
our
that-
stuff?
Your stuff wasn't brought with you. You don't have your stuff yet.
For the sake of brevity. You don't have.
Gotcha.
As you walk back towards the gate, you guys are met by a procession coming from the jail, where all of your possessions are handed back to you in your packs. Take a moment to look through them. All your possessions are still inside them. Make a perception check.
9.
9? Book's not there.
Did I lose any hit points from the ordeal?
It was not like,
Malicious.
yeah. You guys are
Not violent. I guess I should say.
brought out towards the gate. Korak, you're pushed out. They undo your shackles. Take them away. There, your friend is safe outside the gate. Guards turn and walk back inside.
You guys are so strong.
Good badass.
You hear them chuckle to themselves as they...
Korak, is there anything we need to do in this city? Anything we need to get before we leave? I honestly don't want to stay here anymore.
No, there's nothing for me. If you guys have anything, I have no. I could go to Knock and help. Well, I don't even know where I'd be accepted anymore. I can just wait. I'm not.
Oh, you're welcome with us. We're not going to stay here for too long.
Well, I certainly will not decline that invitation. But wow, if you have any loose ends to tie up, I can certainly wait outside the city.
Well, I'm not staying in here. I'll go sleep with you. But I do have some business to take care of here.
Do we know of any progressive, open-minded cities?
Do we still have the card for the...
Is there anyone?
You guys go and find where your cart was.
No, I mean the little card that says what the Eye of Roach did.
I have it here. Nobody wanted to take it because nobody was holding it. But now you no longer have the eye.
What the card?
I was holding it.
Yeah, but I offered to give it to you, and then you said just keep it.
What's it? But you identified it though.
I read it. Yeah.
What are the effects that it does for like controlling people's minds and stuff?
Essentially, what it does is. Well, no, I'll do this off memory.
No, that's what I want. It doesn't.
Essentially, what it does is whenever you touch it, you have to make a wisdom save, lest you try to put it into your own eye socket. As far as after that, my identify spell didn't really tell me.
I'm just...
Your identify spell tells you a lot more than that.
Did it give me all of it afterwards? I don't.
Just act like you remember and just say stuff. Let's see what you got.
I didn't think
The Eye of Rouge.
Oh, you're.
Oh, the commanding of the orcs and all that. I mean, that gives you. It's a verbal.
Well, so I mean, you
Okay.
kind of remember what it was.
I thought that's what they were
It's
asking.
different than what you were saying.
Okay.
If you touch the eye, you make a DC Wisdom saving throw, or be thrown into a rage and start attacking the nearest thing to you. That's not what happened to him. While attuned to it, you could go into a barbarian rage twice per day, ignoring armor requirement, plus damage and attack to elves. While attuned to it, you slowly take on the appearance of an orc, becoming stronger. And if the wearer is an orc or a half-orc, they will have the ability to command orcish people to their will.
Alright, should have given that shit to me. We could have figured it out. Been balling.
I was just.
Oh, the one part of it that you do remember is the wearer slowly loses their will
We can only
to
have
that of Rouge.
Yeah, that only happens when other people have the eyes.
We just have to go kill Rouge, and then you can use it. And you have to work.
You can take the other eye.
We already have a demigod in our party.
That's a good point. If anyone can stand up the groom, should be fair.
Alright, I was just worried that I might
We don't require you
be
to
controlled by
bow.
the queen, but it doesn't seem like it could do that.
So, does do any of you have any spells that could alter my appearance?
Yes. But for like 1 hour.
Here,
Never mind.
I take the hat off my head. It looks like a feathered hat right now, and I pull it off my head, and it turns into like a football, like an old football helmet. I stare at his head.
The old leather cap.
I stare at his head while he does it, just to watch as he's going to try to do the quick. And as soon as I pull it off, my hat that's like, hey, that I leave hanging off my belt, flips back up onto my
You
head.
see, his hair getting a little bit longer. It's grown back a bit. It's been like 3 months, so
That's
your
super
hair's
bad hat hair, though. Super bad.
Oh yeah, no, it's super
have to give you the hat
like, flat. And even whenever he puts the other hat on, you can see like on the sides, it's kind of like pressed down.
Immediately I have the other hat on. Like seconds, like record time.
Yeah,
And then
you
whenever-
see you see the
Yeah,
you see like the streak of silver through the goatee, as well as kind of the shock of silver hair in the front.
But I say, once you attune to this, you can use the disguise self spell. I don't know if they're going to reactivate the Templar Aura soon, though. So I don't know if I would use that once that's activated. But for at least a little while we're figuring out what else we need to do here.
Well, thank you, Zon. You've been more than a friend.
You hear the sound of horns as you see the rest of the army of Hothane on horseback in lines. Start continuing on their march. You can still see that they are still several thousand in total, but they are continuing their march, and it seems as if the last of them are leaving the outside of the city.
Okay, so are they leaving with any carts or anything like that? What,
Oh yeah, there's merchants, there's wagons amongst them.
what does their pace feel like?
Not super rushed. I mean, it's moving,
Okay.
but I mean there are
Like say if a day's time passed, how do I have any idea gauge on like how long how far they would
if
be?
you moved quickly, you could catch up.
Okay.
Which because as you're a group by yourselves, you move much faster than an army moves on its own. Sure.
I wonder. I was like, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I said, I wonder if we still get boons.
I don't think she can take that back. She didn't say anything.
Pissed her off quite a bit.
We should wait a while.
Give a little bit of a cooldown period of a day or so.
I'm no Erato, but it certainly seems like you saved their fucking lives.
Well, they don't remember that part.
Something didn't seem right. Something didn't seem right.
Bringing that up to you right now.
Yeah.
Well, if they end up messing up with the eye, we can always save the city a second time.
I
They
don't
could
think
be eternally indebted to us.
Or you could let the city burn.
True.
Well, I mean, even if the leadership here isn't quite on their game, I don't think everyone here is worthy of death.
The people aren't great, trust me.
Well,
Yeah, these guards and
There are people that know
they're
something
fickle
really.
as fuck.
we have met some nice people here.
Yes. Like Restay, for example. Who I'm going to go pay a visit to.
I doubt that he's still here.
She.
Why?
What?
Isn't she?
Who?
She's my tattoo artist.
Yeah. I thought that was the boy. I was like, what? He was in like that freaking mountain village.
Wait, what?
Was she a gnome or a halfling? I just remember her being.
No, she was normal.
No, I thought she was a gnome or a halfling, wasn't she?
No, she was human. There was a halfling that was giving people tattoos.
Okay.
He offered to give you a tattoo
remember.
whenever you were asking about it, but then there was a dwarf that Fender went with instead.
Whenever I asked about covering tattoos.
Yeah.
Cross streams there.
So,
Are
what are you guys
going
doing?
to the city?
Well, I don't know. What are you guys doing?
I have to attune to this hat at
There's
the very
two things
least.
I would like to do in the city before we leave.
What time is it? It's still pretty like midday.
It's later in the afternoon, probably like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay, so I mean, to attune to this takes a half hour, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to prepare for this hat. I cannot go back in, and I will not.
I'm
go back in
gonna
without.
re-summon.
I have unfinished business inside the city before we leave.
Is he? Did they turn him into Noldath or into like out of the entire thing?
He's outside the city walls.
Just outside, yeah.
So in like the Noldath area.
Oh, he's in. So
You're all standing outside the city gate at this point.
So you're not going to be like stuck in the
Probably
forest.
go in a different
Right.
city gate rather than hang out outside of the one that they just kicked us out of.
Well, they didn't kick us out. They just kicked him out.
I'm not too concerned.
But that's
about
what I'm
it, to be honest.
saying. Like, rather than stand around right next to them until boom, now I'm not a half orc.
Well, truth be told, if I was,
No, it takes you time to attune to it anyways before you can use it.
if I was
That's what I'm
concerned
saying.
about the gods, or I'm not concerned about the gods. I was concerned about your
reason-
perception and what.
Okay.
If a god, has
A few
problem,
moments passed
I
and
will
you
handle
summoned
this.
Lune.
Well, I
and she.
At the very
Not
like,
pleased,
even if you stay
not very
there,
happy at all.
That hat will at least keep you safe out here.
Well, I mean,
The whole scenario of her being essentially forced. It was like being forced away from you by spear point.
Yeah.
She just kind of looks in your direction. You didn't need to dismiss me. I would have tore out that guard's throat before I let him separate us.
I know, Lune. That's why I dismissed you. But I appreciate the gesture.
Perhaps there is wisdom in your judgment.
Maybe.
Like let's have it between the legs.
Yeah.
I need to wild shit into a dire wolf and then me and Lune can do that.
So, take some time, attune to the hat. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go get my tattoo done.
Yeah, I want to do that too, but I want to stop at a weaponry store first. I'm looking for something in particular.
There's something that we keep forgetting to do that is very important, and that is to find the daughter of what was the guy that was the head of the fortress?
She's not in Caliceri.
Actually,
She's not?
I'll go to
She's
the
in
tattoo.
Who are you
place
talking
first.
about? No, never mind. We didn't forget about it.
I would like.
You guys were given the locket by his name's escaping me.
Trent Midas. I just remembered it.
Yep. By Trent Midos, the captain at the fort.
Oh yes.
He gave you a locket.
Yes.
There's a picture of him, his wife, and his daughter, and he asked you to go and give it to her in Nark. If you ever found yourselves there,
That's right.
and give his final regards, his final wishes to her.
Can I use the hat to like make myself look however I want? Is that how it works?
You can essentially hide yourself to look 1 foot higher or taller and like change your race.
Same exact size, human.
Okay.
Or yeah, let's go human.
Super curly mustache.
Humans are pretty. Are humans pretty accepting?
Too bad we don't remember what his last wishes were. But
Humans are pretty
Just to get his
accepting
love.
of there, yeah.
Was the long and short of it.
Or should I look like a human or more like a bulky elf?
I would
Human.
think a human.
I would be inclined to agree. Okay. Wait, no, wait. Actually, let me ask you because I've lived here forever. Are there still
Just humans, yes.
Okay. Are there still like you said humans were going with
The
But
the humans and some of the other races that you started going out
Guards.
they were like mates of the half-orcs that were going.
okay.
It was essentially from being out here and spending a little bit of time. Noldath is empty. There is almost no one here. There are very, very few, like less than 100 people that are staying outside in Noldath in the ruin.
Okay, so I'm going to be a human that is shaped roughly like Korak because, I'm pretty human-sized, actually. And I'm just going to tag along.
So, take a moment, putting on the hat, change how you look. You guys find a different gate, but head into the city And with that, that is where we will pick up at the top of the next session.
I gotta remember what the hell I'm gonna
Spending
do.
time in the city before deciding where to go from there.
And then erase it next.
So,
Maybe we should discuss that out of the
yeah, probably a good discussion for you guys to talk about outside of it, so we don't have to spend 20 minutes talking about what you guys are going to do next.
Oh, yeah.
I
But
don't know where I'm gonna write this down.
thank you for anyone that was watching. We hope you guys like it. If you do, give us a follow. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Both of those are Facebook or Twitter.com/rollperspective. We also have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/perspectivecheck, where we're uploading previous episodes. I promise I will be caught up to live
Someday.
this week.
Someday.
I'm going to upload the rest of those this week. I don't.
How many more do you have to?
I just uploaded 4, so I just need to do 5, 6, and tonight. Because tonight was episode 7. But I only work on a half day tomorrow.
Actually, you know what? We've reached our episode.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're done forever. No, hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
I pretty much always forget that we're